factor theorem states that the polynomial p of x has a x minus r as a factor if and only if p of r is equal to 0. This simply means that if we get the value of r here, alright, and we substitute that r to the p of r, and the result is 0, then this means that this x minus r is a factor of p of x. Alright, so for you to better understand this, let's have some examples. Let's have example number 1. Show that x minus 1 is a factor of x squared plus 2x plus 5. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do here is to find the value of r, and once we get the value of r, we substitute that r to our p of x, which is x squared plus 2x plus 5, and if the result is 0, then we can say that this x minus 1 is a factor of x squared plus 2x plus 5. Alright, so let's try to solve for the value of r. So we know that x minus r is equal to x minus 1. And so if we're going to solve for r, we can actually cancel out x here. So this will give us negative r equals negative 1. And if we multiply both sides by negative 1, then that will give us r equals 1. So the value of r is equal to 1. Now that we have the value of r, then we substitute this r to our p of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 5. So we have here our p of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 5. Alright, and so we have our p of r equals x squared plus 2x plus 5. And we know that r is 1, so we have p of 1 is equal to 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 5. And this will give us 1 squared is 1, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 5. And so our p of 1 is equal to a. Alright, so this simply means that our p of r is not equal to 0. And since our p of r is not equal to 0, therefore we can say that, okay, so therefore we can say that x minus 1 is not a factor, okay, of, alright, x squared plus 2x plus 5. Alright. Let's have another one. Show that a minus 1 is a factor of a cubed minus 2a squared plus a minus 2. Alright, so again, the first thing that we need to solve is the value of r. So we have x, okay, let's change the color. So we have x minus r is equal to a minus 1. Alright, so take note that x here can represent any variable. This means that we can also substitute x here by a. So that will give us a minus r equals a minus 1. And so if we're going to solve for r, we simply cancel a here. Then that will give us negative r equals negative 1. And if we multiply both sides by negative 1, then that will give us r equals 1. Alright, so the value of r is equal to 1. Now that we have the value of r, then we substitute this r to our p of x, or this time we use the p of a since our variable here is a, equal to a cubed minus 2a squared plus a minus 2. So we have p of a equals a cubed minus 2a squared plus a minus 2. Alright, so this will be our p of r equals a cubed minus 2a squared plus a minus 2. Alright, and we know that our r is 1, so we have our p of 1 equals 1 cubed minus 2 times 1 squared plus 1 minus 2. Alright, so simplifying, we know that 1 cubed is 1 minus 1 squared is 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1. Alright, and we have minus 2. Alright, so this will give us negative 1, okay, plus negative 1, or that is simply equal to negative 2. So that's our P of R. This means that P of R is not equal to 0. And since P of R is not equal to 0, then we can say that, okay, we can say that A minus 1 is not a factor, okay, of A cubed minus 2A squared plus A minus 2. Alright, so this will be our conclusion. Let's have the last example. So we have shown that P minus 2 is a factor of 4B cubed minus 3B squared minus 8B minus 4. Alright, so again, we need to solve for the value of R. Okay, so we know that X, okay, we know that X minus R is equal to B minus 2. But then again, we can replace X here by any variable. So we can have this as B minus R equals B minus 2. And if we cancel out B here, then that will give us negative R equals negative 2. And if we divide both sides by negative 1, that will give us R equals positive 2. So our R is positive 2. Now we substitute this R to our P of X, or this time we can have it as P of B. So P of B is equal to 4B cubed minus 3B squared minus 8B minus 4. Alright, and so we have our P of R is equal to 4B cubed minus 3B squared minus 8B minus 4. Alright, and we know that our R is equal to 2, so we have P of 2 is equal to 4 times 2 cubed minus 3 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 minus 4. Alright, so we know that 2 cubed is 8 times 4 is 32. And we know that 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12. And we know that 8 times 2 is 16 minus 4. Alright, so 32 minus 12 is 20. 20 minus 16 is 4. Minus 4 is 0. So our P of R is equal to 0. And since our P of R is equal to 0, then this means that B minus 2 here is a factor of 4B cubed minus 3B squared minus 8B minus 4. Alright, so we can say, okay, we can say, therefore, B minus 2 is a factor of, okay, 4B cubed minus 3B squared minus 8B minus 4. Alright, so this will be our conclusion.